Now, we can all agree that the Spider-Man who has the worst life is the best Spider-Man in comics, the 616 Spider-Man. But if we're not including comics, then ironically, that goes to the best Spider-Man outside the comics. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about no one other than... Now, that isn't to say that the writers are making him miserable or something like that. No, it's how companies and executives treat this version of Spider-Man. The Spectacular Spider-Man show ran from 2008 to 2009, and just like Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, it is regarded as one of, if not Marvel's best animated show of all time, due to its well-established characters, iconic and heartfelt moments, the show focusing on Peter's life outside Spider-Man, whether it be school, bills, or relationships, and no-brainer, its amazing voice acting and writing. The show had plans to continue for 65 more episodes and we would have saw Peter through his school graduation and his college years. Spider-Man villains such as Carnage, Hobgoblin, Morbius, and Scorpion would have appeared in the show as well. I swear to God, to this day, it boggles my fucking mind that this isn't the first time that Scorpion's potential was wasted. Not only that, but other Marvel characters outside of Spider-Man's world were also going to appear as well. But during the time when Disney bought Marvel, there were legal problems between Disney, who intended to not only acquire Marvel, but Sony as Pictures Television. Sony gave back the rights to the Spider-Man TV rights to Marvel, but they kept the rights to Spectacular Spider-Man. And instead of playing nice and splitting the profits, they decided to cancel the show, let the show be canceled. And as much as that sucked, at least Spectacular Spider-Man went down as one of the best superhero shows to come out of the 2000s, alongside other superhero shows that came in, shows such as Justice League Unlimited and the 2003 Teen Titans show. I believe everybody and their mother knows that, but that was just one of the examples of the point I'm trying to make. Not only was the Spectacular Spider-Man show gonna finish, the Spectacular Spider-Man himself was also gonna be part of the Yoastverse. Those who don't know, the Yoastverse is basically Marvel's DCAU, or Timverse. It's an animated universe where Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Wolverine and the X-Men, Hulk vs. Thor, and Hulk vs. Wolverine, and Thor Tales of Asgard are all one. There are also people who believe Fantastic Four, World's Greatest Heroes, and Doctor Strange, Sorcerer Supreme are in that universe as well. But anyways, the plans for the Spectacular Spider-Man to be its own thing was scrapped. The new plan was to have Spectacular Spider-Man appear in Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Josh Keaton even recorded his lines. But since Sony owned the rights to Spectacular Spider-Man, Josh Keaton was replaced with Jake Bell. And the new plan was to have Ultimate Spider-Man be connected with Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Avengers Assemble was even going to be a continuation of Earth's Mightiest Heroes. But since that also didn't work out, both Avengers Assemble and Ultimate Spider-Man became their own universe. And there were people that believed that the Spider-Man that appeared in Earth's Mightiest Heroes was its own thing. Or there were people that, like me, that believed that was Spectacular Spider-Man. Spectacular Spider-Man was on Netflix and Disney Plus at one point, but the show was taken off in both sites. Disney Plus for no reason, and Netflix because they just do that, and it's always been so fucking annoying. Nobody has done anything with Spectacular Spider-Man for 13 years until Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse came out. We had this short but cool cameo of the Spectacular Spider-Man, and let me tell you, I was screaming yes when they showed that scene, man. I was hyped as fuck. And apparently his Captain Stacy dies in his world, and as much as I love that little cameo, this isn't Spectacular Spider-Man making me. He doesn't look the other way. Even Josh Keaton admits it himself. As much as I love that scene, I don't like how it's inaccurate to his character. I like to think that this isn't the real Spectacular Spider-Man and he's just someone from a different timeline. I outside that isn't the Spectacular Spider-Man universe. Just how in Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths, Batman, Joker, and the Justice League aren't the Justice League Joker or Batman from the DCAU, and they're just from another dimension that isn't in the DCAU. Because Batman Beyond is in the DCAU and it takes place in the future, and in here this takes place like before Batman Beyond and it gets wiped out. That could be a cool little plot twist for the next for Beyond the Spider-Verse. It was reported that Josh Keaton would voice someone in the Invincible show. Everyone not only believed that it would be Spider-Man, but there were people that believed it would be the Spectacular Spider-Man, I think. And we all thought that we would not just get a short little show, but we would get the entire story of the Marvel team up between Spider-Man and Invincible ripped from the comics and brought into the show. There was even a little cameo in the little Easter egg in the season 2 trailer. And you better believe that I was hyped as hell to see the Spectacular Spider-Man in the Invincible show. But unfortunately, though, we had a knockoff called Agent Spider, and this wasn't a bad scene, and Agent Spider wasn't a bad character, but still, this wasn't Spider-Man, the real Spider-Man. And I expressed my disappointment on a TikTok video, and as disappointed as I am, I get why the people behind the writers didn't want to put in Spider-Man. They think Marvel might say no, and even if it was the Spectacular Spider-Man, due to them having the rights to the show, Sony would be the one to say. Sony would be the one who would say no, because that's how Sony is. I was disappointed as hell that Spawn, Savage Dragon, and all the other Image Comics characters didn't show up in the Invincible War like in the comics. They're all Image Comics characters like Invincible. But anyways, I wish that Spectacular Spider-Man could get the love that he deserves when Disney decides to buy the entire rights of Spider-Man back, including Spectacular Spider-Man. I would love to see a season 3 of Spectacular Spider-Man and to see him in EMH again, this time voiced by Josh Keaton.